Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is bouncing from this critical area of support as the price is moving closer towards potentially a major breakout. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum, which is still holding above this important line of support, while Solana is also bouncing from this critical line of support in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in this video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is still technically within a larger bullish trend, forming significant higher lows and higher highs. And just giving you another quick recap of this hidden bullish divergence on the 3-day time frame, because I'm still getting a lot of comments on these videos talking about what is a bullish or bearish divergence. And I already explained this a couple of days ago now, but just to make it extra clear, I brought up an extra chart right here. So basically, a bullish divergence is strictly only talking about a divergence between the lows in the price and a price oscillator like the RSI. Whereas a bearish divergence is strictly talking about a divergence between the highs in the price and a price oscillator like the RSI, for example. And so in this chart right here, the red line is the price oscillator, which in this case would be the RSI, and the blue line is the price action. And so when we have higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI, that's a regular bearish divergence. But when we have lower highs in the price and higher highs in the RSI, that's a hidden bearish divergence. Once again, looking at the highs, that is always a bearish divergence. But once again, if we're looking at the lows, that is always a bullish divergence. And so when we see lower lows in the price and higher lows in the RSI, that's a regular bullish divergence. Or when we have higher lows in the price and lower lows in the RSI, that's a hidden bullish divergence. And basically, regular divergences are much stronger than hidden divergences. They usually affect the price much more and oftentimes can result in a trend reversal. Whereas a hidden divergence usually plays out as a trend continuation pattern. So in this case, with a hidden bullish divergence, these usually play out as trend continuation patterns to the upside, like what we saw back here. We saw higher lows in the price and lower lows in the RSI, which was a hidden bullish divergence or a trend continuation pattern. But an example of a bearish divergence was right back here. We had higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI. That was an example of a regular bearish divergence because once again, we're looking at the highs, not the lows, and that caused a correction in the price. And so hopefully that clears things up for anyone that was still wondering what is a bullish or bearish divergence, because even though I've explained it recently here on the channel, I've still been getting a lot of comments asking what is a bullish or bearish divergence. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and like I said in my last video, the DXY is currently closed for trading, so we don't really have any new major updates in the DXY over the last 1 to 2 days. But basically in the immediate short term, it's looking relatively neutral at the moment because over the last half a week or so, we haven't really seen a major move to either direction in the DXY. But as usual, if the DXY is bullish, that is often bearish for Bitcoin and crypto. And if the DXY is bearish, that is often bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. And so as always, I'll be sure to keep you up to date on what's happening here in the DXY and many other important charts in these videos every day. So make sure you subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important update videos. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the RSI on the daily time frame is still consolidating above this previous line of resistance. And so at least in the short term, the RSI is also looking very neutral as it's basically chopping around sideways. And if we're taking a look at the momentum in the market at the moment in the MACD, as of right now, this is basically completely flatlined, showing basically almost no momentum at all to either direction. And now over the last 1 day, we got extremely close to a bearish cross, but once again, as of right now, we are lacking momentum. So we don't really have a lot of momentum to either direction in the shorter term. And so like I've already been saying recently here on the channel, I would not necessarily expect a major move to either direction just in the imminent short term. And instead, we're most likely going to see relatively mild price action or choppy sideways price action as one of the most likely outcomes just for now in the short term, because at the moment we are lacking momentum. We do not have a strong trend or momentum to either direction. But as always, it's important to understand the difference between the different time frames. So even though that might be the case right now in the shorter term, that is different to the larger trend at play on the larger time frames. And for the Bitcoin holders out there, obviously this type of sideways price action with low momentum is quite boring in the short term, but believe it or not, you can make a lot of easy money in choppy sideways price action just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is actually getting closer towards a potential breakout above this line of resistance, which is currently sitting at around 62.7k. And so in order to confirm a breakout for this potential massive falling wedge pattern on the daily time frame, we need to see at least a solid daily candle close above that resistance, and ideally above a previous high, which, for example, if we're looking at this high based on the candle closes, that is sitting at around 64.2k. And so ideally, if we start breaking out above around 64,000, give or take, with candle closes above that level, then we can start to become much more confident that we're actually flipping more bullish again in the short term, in terms of the short term trend. And in case you're wondering, the support line for this falling wedge is also sitting at around 57,500. And we also have these areas of support, which as of right now, the price is currently bouncing from this area, sitting in between around 60.5k to 61k, acting as strong support as we've seen previously. And we also have this level of support further to the downside in case we see a break below around 60,500. We have this area sitting in between around 58,000 to 58,500. And we also have this level of support at around 56,500. And so those are the areas of support to pay attention to in the short term. But once again, in order to become more confident that we're actually flipping much more bullish again in the short term, we need to see a breakout above this resistance and ideally above a previous high. And when it comes to my Bitcoin trading strategy right now, as I've been saying on the channel since all the way back down here, I've already scaled into a long position, as I actually mentioned on the channel back down here. And so once again, I'm still currently in that Bitcoin long position, which is still a 300k Bitcoin long position with the stop loss sitting above my entry. So the stop loss is sitting in slight profits, and I have already taken some profits off the table at some slightly higher prices. And so basically, in the worst case scenario, if the price just dumps right now, then I've already taken some profits and my stop loss would get me out of the trade automatically in profits. And so once again, that is the worst case scenario. I would still come away with some profits from that trade in that worst case. But of course, in the best case, if we just bounce from here, then obviously I would continue to make more profits from this position, which also pays out in Bitcoin, by the way, because it is an inverse perpetual swap. And so when I mention I'm taking profits from this trade, I'm not selling Bitcoin, I'm taking profits out of the long position, which pays out in Bitcoin. So I'm actually turning Bitcoin into even more Bitcoin. And if you also want to take trades just like this for yourself to make a lot of easy money in crypto, then the exchange that I'm trading on right here is Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive 200 USDT airdrop position just by making a Bybit account using that link and making a deposit and claiming their airdrop. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can still see some liquidity to the downside below the price at around 60.1k, so just above $60,000. But as of right now, we're starting to see more and more liquidity build to the upside as more and more people are actually starting to enter new short positions. And so we have this initial area of liquidity sitting at around 63,500 to 63.9k. And we also have some more liquidity at 64.4k and 64.9k. And also on larger time frames, we have billions of dollars of liquidity at around 67 to 67,500. And so basically, once we see the price of Bitcoin cross above those higher levels of liquidity, that could potentially cause a major short squeeze to the upside, considering we'll be liquidating billions of dollars of short positions once the price eventually crosses above those levels. But remember, at least for now in the shorter term, we are lacking momentum to either direction. So like I said earlier, over and over again, I would not be expecting a massive move either up or down because we are simply lacking the momentum in the short term. And now, obviously, at some point in the future, that will change, but at least for now, just in the short term, as in talking about the next few days, I do not really expect a massive move to either direction because we are simply lacking the momentum. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, over the last 1 day, we've actually seen a slight bounce just above this line of support, which is sitting at around 28.50, and we have this line of resistance for this potential falling wedge pattern sitting at around 32.80. And as of right now, the price is not only finding support at this descending line of resistance, we're also finding support at this 38.2% Fibonacci level of support sitting just underneath 2.9k. And like I've mentioned recently here on the channel, if we see a confirmed break below this support, so below around 28.50 to 2.9k with ideally a weekly candle close confirming a break below that level, then in that case, we could potentially drop down to the next retracement level, which is sitting at around 2,500. And below 2,500, we have the golden pocket sitting in between 2,000 to 2.1k. But obviously, at least for now, we have not yet confirmed a break below 2.9k, at least as of right now. And if we're zooming into the 12-hour time frame, we can see right now the price is still finding some support at this area of support, sitting in between 28.50 to 29.50. But like I said earlier, at least in the imminent short term, we are lacking momentum. And even if we bounce again from this area of support like what we've seen previously, even in that case, the price could still just be within this choppy sideways price range that we've seen over the last 1 month or so. Once again, as I've been talking about over and over again, we're looking relatively neutral, which so far has been playing out as expected. But even though to a lot of people this might be very boring price action with the price just kind of trading sideways, this choppy sideways price action can make you a lot of easy profits in crypto. This is actually a gold mine in crypto, and once again I'll talk more about that later in the video, so stick around to the end. And as for resistance in this sideways price range, we do have a little bit of resistance at around 30.40 to 30.50, but above that we have more significant resistance in between 3.2k to 32.50 and more resistance at around 3.3k and 33.50. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana, also on the 12-hour time frame, we can see right now the price is still holding above this ascending line of support just in the short term, which is sitting at around $144. But right now in the short term, the price is getting squeezed between this line of support and this area of resistance because we still have this area of resistance sitting in between 150 to 155 with more resistance at 160 and more resistance in between 167 to 172. And so, for example, if we see another rejection from this area of resistance and actually end up breaking below 144, well, in that case, the next short-term support should be sitting closer towards 140, and below that, we have major support sitting in between 120 to 128. But just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, in the imminent short term, the price of Solana is lacking momentum, which is why we've been seeing a lot of choppy sideways price action over the last few days and really over the last 1 month or so. And so at least for now, in the short term, we don't really have a strong trend or momentum to either direction, which is why the price is basically chopping around sideways. But if you still want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to make money from trading, no matter if the price is going up, down, or chopping around sideways like it is right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.